In the vast and timeless deserts of ancient Egypt, one of the most sacred places stood in the city of Heliopolis, the city of the sun. It was here that the grand drama of creation was believed to have unfolded, giving rise to the universe, the gods, and humanity. Central to this belief was the myth of the Ennead, 9 powerful gods who shaped the cosmos and established the order that governed life. Before the dawn of time, before the earth, sky, or even the stars existed, there was only a great swirling abyss of nothingness called none. This cosmic ocean was silent and still, holding within it the potential for all creation. And from this formless void, an idea, a desire to create, began to stir. That desire took form in the figure of Atum, the first god, a self-created deity who stood alone upon a great mysterious mound of earth that emerged from Nun. Atum is not just a god, he is the embodiment of the beginning hour itself, complete in his being, both male and female, containing within him all possibilities. His name, which means the complete one, speaks to this nature. From the top of this primordial mound, Atum gazed into the abyss, and through an act of will, or perhaps sheer loneliness, he decided to bring the universe into being. With a single breath or through his own tears, depending on the telling, Atum brought forth his first children, Shu, the god of air, and Tefnut, the goddess of moisture. Shu and Tefnut were the first divine pair, and with them, the dualities that would define existence began to emerge. The air between the earth and sky, the moisture that gave life to the land, and the separation of order from chaos. But even these two gods, though powerful, needed a place to exist, and so the universe continued to unfold. Shu and Tefnut gave birth to the second generation of gods, Geb, the god of the earth, and Nut, the goddess of the sky. The ancient Egyptians imagined Geb and Nut in an eternal embrace, Nut arching over Geb as the stars stretched across her body. However, the cosmos demanded structure. Shu, the god of air, had to step between them, pushing Nut into the sky and leaving Geb below to form the earth. This separation created the space in which life could flourish. The land, the heavens, the winds, and the waters were now in their rightful places. But the story does not end here. From the union of Geb and Nut came the next generation of divine beings, and these children would play pivotal roles in the human experience. Nut gave birth to Osiris, Isis, Seth, and Nephthys, the gods who would go on to govern life, death, and the eternal struggle between order and chaos. Osiris, the eldest of the siblings, was destined to rule as the god of the underworld, associated with kingship, fertility, and rebirth. His wife, Isis, was the great mother goddess, revered for her magic and wisdom, a protector of the living and the dead. Together they symbolized life, renewal, and resurrection, but their reign would not go unchallenged. Seth, their brother, became the embodiment of chaos and destruction. He grew jealous of Osiris's power and sought to overthrow him. In a dramatic and tragic confrontation, Seth murdered Osiris, scattering his body across Egypt. But this was not the end for Osiris. Through her magic, Isis gathered the pieces of her husband's body and resurrected him, allowing Osiris to rule over the land of the dead. Their son, Ahmose, born after Osiris's death, would eventually rise to defeat Seth, restoring order to the cosmos and becoming the rightful king of Egypt. The myth of the Ennead is not just a story of creation, it is a cosmic drama, a reflection of the eternal struggle between order, Ma'at, and chaos, Isfet. The gods of the Ennead, especially Osiris, Isis, Seth, and Horus, became archetypal figures in Egyptian religion, embodying the cycles of life, death, and rebirth that governed both the natural world and the human soul. But the myth also speaks to the profound understanding the Egyptians had of balance. Just as Nut and Geb had to be separated to give the universe form, so too did the forces of chaos and order need to be held in equilibrium. Without Seth, there could be no Horus. Without death, there could be no rebirth. In the grand scheme of the cosmos, each of these 9 gods had their role to play, and their relationships with one another symbolized the complex web of life. Atum, who began the cycle, stood as a distant figure in the heavens, the force behind all things, while Osiris and Isis came to be seen as more personal, protective deities for the people of Egypt. Horus, in his struggle against Seth, represented the enduring hope that order and justice would always triumph, while Seth's presence was a reminder that chaos was ever present, lurking at the edges of civilization. The myth of the Ennead is a timeless narrative of creation, destruction, and renewal, a divine cycle that mirrors the ebb and flow of the Nile, the rise and fall of dynasties, and the eternal journey of the soul toward the afterlife. It is a story that spoke to the hearts of the ancient Egyptians, offering them both an explanation for the world around them and a roadmap for their own lives, a guide for living in harmony with the gods, nature, and one another. From the first breath of Atum to the victory of Horus, the Ennead of Heliopolis weaves a rich tapestry of creation, one that continues to inspire awe with its intricate portrayal of cosmic order, divine justice, and the everlasting dance between light and darkness.